Alright, welcome back to another episode of Art Time, where today we're going to be drawing the Alien King. We already got the outline done with, but yeah. And so, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Alright, I came back from getting the 10th episode of Adventurous Army written and done with. We got that finished. It took a while, and annoyingly enough, we have to go to sleep early today because of this stupid fucking job and its stupid fucking 12-hour shit tomorrow. But at least somebody took 4 of those days. They were gonna try to do the whole freaking week. Can you believe that shit? I hate jobs that are like, yeah, these people don't have a life, we'll just make them work many freaking hours. It's annoying, it's stupid. Wish they would stop doing shit like that. But no, these idiots are lost in their own little fucking heads. Up in their own clouds while everyone down here is suffering, being upset, miserable and whatnot. Oh, but just you wait, because if we all burn down, then their clouds will burn down as well, because there's nothing they can do to stop the inevitable death of this planet. And, it's depressing, but what can you do? We got idiots in charge of everything nowadays. Greedy, moronic idiots. So, why don't we go escape into the demon realm for a bit and just, look into the Alien King. An alien that was the king of the universe, and that he was in. His own little universe area, not this universe, obviously. Or maybe he was the king of this universe, but then he just got brought into the demon realm. And, we were never really on his radar, for obvious reasons. But, you know what? Yeah, that's what... Whoops! Did I just define a custom shape? What did I just do? Oh, for crying out loud. Well, that did that automatically. That's surprising. Guess it doesn't exactly matter. Alright, so, yeah. The Alien King is essentially just a self-proclaimed king of the aliens in his universe. Then he got abducted and put into the demon realm on Lament, and then somehow became the king of Lament as well, i.e. the ruler of Lament. And now when you think about the Lament was essentially a sub-region before the Alien King came along and turned it into its own region by giving it a ruler, i.e. him. So you know what that means. That means this area is no longer a sub-region. Okay. Torso 1B. It is now a full-on region. And there's probably way more aliens here than there were before. Alien demons and whatnot. So, yeah. That's what this area has. This area has a powerful alien that has basically just took over a demonic region in the demon realm. Somewhat similar to the Defiler, minus the fact that the Defiler is just like a group of demons who are just around doing their thing. Literally nothing can bring them down. The Alien King, yeah, I guess he can bring them down. But they probably don't mess with someone like that, considering the fact that A, he's very freaking powerful, and B, they do preserve their life. What do I have to drink today, you may ask? Surprisingly, not Mepsi. No, it's milk down eggnog. Yep, milk down eggnog. Right, Cadillac? What you looking at? Don't you morph at me? Yeah, I know, you're gonna be a sad cat tomorrow. Not gonna be here for 12 freaking hours because of these jackasses. I hate it. I wish I could punch the factory. Punch it out of existence. Would be nice if the factory just disappear out of nowhere. Like, we all wake up, and all of a sudden, like, the walls, the ceiling, the floor just mysteriously disappeared. Like some supernatural event occurring that causes the entire factory to just vanish. Equipment and all. Everybody who was in there will be fine, but they will fall down and question what the hell happened as the floor disappears. Obviously, it'll be dirt ground, because, well, unless there's some basement we don't know about, it should be a dirt ground. But yep, everything just disappears. And then we don't have to worry about work. At least for a little bit. And we'll have to go and find another place to work at. Hopefully one that is, that respects work-life balance. That's what we need. That's all we really ask for. Is companies that will respect work-life balance and allow us to be happy doing our things. Instead of trying to take those things away by forcing us all to work more hours than we need to. I wish I could will it into existence. I really could. But someday I won't have to worry about that shit. Hopefully. Someday. That's why I'm constantly working on stuff. And why we got Sonic Frontiers planned. Assuming everything here is going according to plan. It's saying coming November 8th, 2022. Which is making me wonder if as soon as midnight hits, will I be able to download it? Is there a pre-download section? Is there no pre-download section? Like, I don't see if there's... It doesn't look like it. Single player, cloud saves, full controller support, which is good. We need a controller support. And I already went to the store page. In library. Yeah. Everything should be there. Hopefully. Should be. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but for now it don't matter. We gotta wait until tomorrow. Which, probably by the time this video comes out, later tonight. At 12 o'clock midnight. So yes, hopefully that will help the YouTube channel a bit, because I'm not entirely too sure. I feel like it should, right? I feel like it would. Because, for one thing, it's a new series, a new game that's coming out, will be coming out, and it will be, looked for... Oh, wait a minute. You need to be 2A. And it will be looked for in all of the, the hashtags and whatnot, as well as YouTube. It will be that, yes. So hopefully that will help. Hopefully. If not for Art Time and Game Crafters, our YouTube channel would be a Sonic YouTube channel. But it's not. We got Minecraft. And maybe as soon as we finish Sonic Frontiers, and hopefully the Minecraft videos we can get back, maybe also a Terraria / Minecraft channel. Just do like every Friday record 2 hours of Minecraft and record 2 hours of Terraria. Nukem Edition. Oh yes, you will enjoy that one. Trust me on that. It's going to be hilarious. But yes, these are plans that we have for the channel. I have plans for many long-running series. Thing is, I have to do long-running series because I create, the thumbnail thing. Unless, I don't know, if I were to do something akin to 3 Scary Games, and we just have like one general all-around thumbnail with the ROTC cat surrounded by a bunch of horrific entities. But, the ROTC cat's invincible. But it doesn't change the fact that it's going to get its feelings hurt when those entities try to, like, hurt it, but fail to do so because the cat is invincible. That's the idea. That be the idea. Whether or not we can actually do that, though, I'm not in a rush. So far, mostly everything on my channel has been about creation, with Sonic Adventures 2 being the one that's slightly less about that, except for the Chow instance. Trying to build up our Chows and whatnot, and getting them into new evolution forms and whatnot. And now we're going to get Sonic Frontiers. And then that's going to be all of what that is going to be. I don't know what it's going to be like. I know there's fishing. Kind of makes me wonder if I should, get Final Fantasy 15 and have that as a long-running series on our channel or something. Although, of course, I would have to choose series that aren't going to take ages to get done with. And again, I have no clue how long Sonic Frontiers is going to take, so, I don't know. I mean, it gives me more than enough time to hopefully get this stupid D drive nonsense fixed, which it still hasn't been fixed yet. I need those 2 videos, or at least 1 video. Alright, there's the Alien King, whom of which has a very simplistic color scheme, but that's fine. I'm going to save this in, where was it? Back up, here we are. Alien King. There we go. I don't think we have Lament saved in here. Oh, no, we do. Never mind. We do. Lament is in here, right, cat? She did this with her eyes open and that pupils go in there for a second. What's wrong? Did I wake you slightly? Alright. Let's get the coloring of the throne done with, which will be made out of rocks. Moon rocks. This throne will be made out of. Ah, yes, a rocky moon throne, if you will. Like so. Followed by some, scrap. Good old-fashioned scrap. And let's get, this color for this part. Slightly darker, but not dark enough to overthrow the color. Alright. It's a throne made out of moon, rocks, Lament, moon, rocks, and scrap. I think he would be more at home in an area filled with scrap, in all honesty, but I'm not sure. Alright, let's see. Which one was that again? Okay, let me get some glass in here now. Glass. I think glass was like either 30 or 50. I think 30 makes... I'll make it 50. Yeah, why not? And we got a bunch of scrap colors here. Put this over here. And what is that? More scrap? Good. Rusty scrap. And then there's this scrap like this. That's probably going to be more grayish. No, grayish. There we go. Let's go. And then this one over here, which looks like just a pipe. I'll leave this Lament color thing here. Nog. Drink the nog, Carter. Alright. Now that we've gotten the coloring of the character done with... Oop, no, I want to go to the head. Now we just gotta shade in the character. Seems simple enough, really. So, yeah, essentially the Alien King is basically just like this, full-on alien-looking creature. Try to make that look more like this. Then we gotta figure out what kind of textures we want here. Now I want to try to go for a more scale-like look, but I'm not sure. Scales and rock and whatnot. Well, regardless, he definitely does have somewhat of a... Because if you look at the original one from long ago, it's a very far away image. Still feel like something here is a tad bit off, but I'm not sure. There's like little craters that kind of go into its body and just like has glows and whatnot. Sigils, if you will. Although, I don't know, was this one supposed to be sharper? No, that one was going into a circular pattern. Alright, let's brighten these up. Now for the eye over here, and the eye over here. And this one will just be highlighted as well. Good, great, fantastic. I'm going to try to make this one a relatively quick one, because we don't really have too much time. Less than 2 hours. Although I could probably go for an extra hour and just get 7 hours of sleep or some shit. I gotta try to conserve as much energy as I possibly can, so I have to go extremely slow. There's a good thing about my particular position here is that I don't have to really worry about people just like having to check up on me and making sure that I'm like doing the things that I need to do. So I can go a bit slowly while getting some things done with. And then maybe later on in the night just take it even more slow. And just try to relax a bit. Because I'm going to be incredibly frustrated and annoyed. If something fucks up, I will take my sweet ass time to fix it. Like, you know, the machine decides to like be all like, no, I'm gonna be a dumbass and get stuck for no reason. I'm gonna be like, alright, fine, I'm gonna take my sweet ass time. You can stay stuck there for like a minute or two, you piece of shit, you worthless, broken motherfucking piece of shit machine that nobody is trying to fix at all. My god, these machines are just getting broken every single day. You think it would get better, but no, nobody can fix it. And there's this one counter on this machine that's just skipping, or not skipping, it's doubling up numbers instead of counting up by 1, which causes the frickin' thing to be shorter, the product to be shorter, which is annoying. And they said they were going to order a new piece, but that's been like a few weeks now. And this problem has been ongoing for like 2 months to 3 months, maybe. This has been a problem for a long time now, and nobody bothered to fix it. Because they have to order a new thing, a new counter, and we haven't gotten that yet. And if we have got that, then they're just not freaking installing it. Which is fine, because apparently the freaking machine out of which that needed to run for that was just down and was being worked on throughout the course of that particular instance, which, well, you know what that means. It's just going to be broken as hell. That's right, that's broken as hell. It's probably, I mean, maybe it'll work still. Maybe they can't fix it. Maybe it's just down for good. We don't have to worry about it. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. No doubt they're probably going to have 2 frickin' lines on this Saturday, which is incredibly frustrating. But, you know, it's just, that's the thing. That's what it is. It's just stupid. It's a stupid thing. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem. I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm tired of dealing with this place. I have become increasingly more jaded about factories in general. And would wish for them all to just pop out of existence. If I had a freaking genie's wish, my wish would be I'd wish that all factories in the world disappeared. All the factories. And then there goes all the factories. Sure, it would probably cause chaos, but, you know, at this point, I'd take chaos over suffering in a place like this any day. Oh, you kidding me? Who wouldn't take chaos? Frickin' dang old hot-ass blonde with that Greek frickin' robe outfit there and that golden apple. Sure y'all know who I'm talking about. That was a pretty big hint that I've given you. Amongst the subtle hints, which is slightly less subtle, but, you know, still subtle. I feel like I should get some blood stains on this guy. Get some red on that blue. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. I wish that I just didn't have to worry about money. And work. And just live a happy life like, you know, all those jackass rich people are doing, apparently. Tired as hell. Well, hopefully I'll be able to get to sleep. That's one thing I'm mostly worried about. How the hell am I going to get to sleep? Changing my goddamn sleep schedule because you ass nuggets can't fucking do something else. You can't just do something else. You have to just go down a route that makes me want to just extinct the entirety of humankind. The human race. Just make y'all just disappear. Frickin' annoying. It's incredibly annoying. Wish it wasn't so damn annoying. Alright, let's see. We're almost done with shading in this alien king. There's still a few bits and pieces left. That's the throne, you idiot. Go to the arm. Oh, wait, shit. Yeah, no, that's a problem. Hold on. That's an easy fix. I just need to move all of this stuff above the arm. Which one is that? Ah, this one. That's fine. That'll work. Ah, shit. I should have seen where the hell all this stuff was first. Hold on. Leg, pelvis. This is 2, right? Yes. Yeah, so thumb, finger, hand. There we go. And now we just got to move all these up. No, that went above. And now for the thumb. There we go. Fixed. Well, I definitely do want to try to preserve as much energy as possible for Sonic Frontiers once that's out. Hopefully. Hopefully indeed. Alright, let's see. So now we just gotta get the legs here finished, and then we gotta go over to the throne. And then, of course, we gotta texture in the body. I feel like the texturing will make most of it look good. It's just that these little bits of, like, red glows here. I'm not sure what I planned on having those be. Whether it was just, like, red scratches or just something else, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely too sure, really. Alright, let's see. Oops. Leg 1E. And then this. Okay. I could probably adjust this a tiny bit more. Alright, the throne probably isn't going to be too bad. Most of it's probably not going to even be that shaded in. Although, regardless, I should still try to get some form of shading in there. Do this. And, of course, now we go on this side and get this done with. Good, great, fantastic. Alright, so far, so good. Let's get some of these thick lines in here. Get a smaller one. And let's get some of this shit in here. And then some of this, which is probably going to be a little bit more blended in, but we'll still try to retain its color up top. Okay. Alright, let's see. Alright. So now that that's the throne done with, we just get the scrap done over here. So I'm still trying to figure out what kind of thing I want to do for this. The Alien King's so goddamn powerful, he was able to embed these pieces of scrap and a piece of glass inside of this moon throne. Pretty intimidating stuff right over there. It's a good thing that he resides in this area, on Lament. Otherwise, he'd probably try to rule over the entirety of the demon realm. But I mean, not to an extent that you would think. Primarily because a lot of demons in the surface demon realm most of them have psychological effects. Alright. I feel like the head should be a bit more cracked to give it a more scale-like appearance. And the arms as well. But the red bits should be like strands. It's as if the Alien King's body molded to be able to have some of it be native to the demon realm and some of it to be native to his own universe so he doesn't forget himself. Which, can you blame him? Although I don't know what he's thinking about. He sits on a throne in the demon realm in Lament, ruling over an entire region of demons. Yeah, the demons definitely do have, like, some different, distinct, like, stuff because of the regions and whatnot. I mean, we have over 100 demons drawn so far. Not all of them. I gotta, like, go through the demon realm list on this current one and just, like, cross out all the demons that I've already got drawn due to the nonsense that occurred with the stupid D-Drive shit. And there's a few other things that we gotta get done with. Many other things that we gotta get done with. And that's the one thing I want to try to get done with as quickly as possible. Yeah, give him nice strand-like body. Try to have this stick to its current appearance. And try to give this somewhat of an appearance as well. I don't think most of it came in. Doesn't look like it. What if I did this instead? I don't know how big of a difference that makes. It's a slight difference. Alright, strands on the elbows. Yeah, these bright red marks aren't, shading in as well, which is fine. Strands on the hands. You can't see that, so that's fine. But still, strands on the other hands, as well as those red, glowing scar-like things, but I'm not sure about that one yet either. And the strands on the fingers as well. And the other finger too. And this one. And this one. And this. Alright. So far so good though. We're making pretty good time here. It's only been a little over 30 minutes. We got pretty much most of what we've got recorded outside of this and Elementals Reborn. But is it going to be a busy freaking week? You know, I'm still pissed off that they attempted to do that shit on what is going to be my busiest week. Not only did I have to get Adventures Ami story written and posted, the Alien King as well, and the Elementals Reborn drawn and posted before the weekends. But we also got 4 episodes of Sonic Frontiers to record. One on Monday after midnight, hopefully. Another one on Tuesday. And then 2 on Friday for next week. Because, that's going to be that. And of course, let's not forget about Game Crafters, which I think we finished up the gameplay and all that stuff. Now we're going to be going into the menu stuff. I did some testing throughout the... wait, no, I don't want to use that one. I want to use this one. I did some testing throughout the, in between, after I recorded the episode. It's some, crate movement testing. And, man, oh man, some things broke when I thought they weren't broken. Like, the crate teleportation thing was broken all of a sudden. And I don't remember why, or I don't know why or how that happened. And I still don't understand how that happened. I don't understand how it happened at all. Like, as soon as the player went into the crate via teleportation, the crate would teleport back somehow to the other teleporter instead of being moved off of it. Which made no sense at all. Apparently the fix I performed was to simply have the crate just, also, like, the teleportation coding also checked, like, this variable that I added in. Because the crate and the clone, let me tell you, that messed up so much as well. And there was also some things that I didn't even know existed. Like, the clone not being able to move into the lock once the lock, did its thing. And well as the, or the clone and the player, technically, not being able to move into the lock if they spawn in the lock, of course. Actually, no, it would still be an issue, because if they launched into the lock, then you wouldn't be able to move. I fixed it, though. I had the stay command or the stay class, or whatever the hell you call that, for lock, essentially just, also account for if key is greater than 0. It's essentially like this, what I had for the lock. You saw it, but I'll explain it to y'all who aren't paying attention to Game Crafters for some reason. There's the the on-trigger stay command thingy, which we utilize instead of enter, because enter bugs out if there's too many things on screen for some reason. I don't know why. But we have that to see if the tag is lock. If tag is equal to lock. That's how you do it. If, parentheses, others.tag is equal to quotation marks, lock, or whatever other tag you have. And then the double and sign to check to see if key is equal to 0. Then it made a wall, whatever direction, equal true, preventing you from moving. And for that to, well, stop preventing you from moving, there was an on-trigger exit instance that essentially is checking to see if lock is, what it is, and then it makes it false. However, the problem was it was checking to see if it was also 0. No, the problem was there was no other way for it to go back to false. If you were to, collect the key, it would still stay to true. So the fix we did was to have another one that's basically also like if key is, greater than 1, as well as the tag thing, because I, for some reason, feel like that would somehow screw up. I could have tested it, but you know what? It's fine. Yeah, if key is greater than 1, then of course, thing is false, allowing for that to, allow for the player and all that to move. And that's how we did that. Right, cat? Cat's sleeping. So, yeah. It wasn't too hard, in all honesty, to fix that. The crate problem, though, was a little bit tricky, because I didn't understand how the hell that was screwing up. Because essentially, there was like a teleport variable, a bool, if you will. We're going to be going into this part now. A bool that was basically just, checking to see if teleport is equal to false and if the crate enters a teleporter. Same thing that the enemies and the player uses, and that works no problem. Yet, for some freaking reason, the crate decided, I'm going to just break now, and then did what it did, and I did not understand why the hell that was doing that, and I couldn't figure out a fix until I decided, alright, you know what, let's try this instead. We gave a variable push so that if the clone runs the crate into the player, it just kills the player, and the player won't if the player's up against a wall right here, and say if the, crate here, player here, clone here, in the same area, you press down. If you press left, the crate will go into the player, but then goes down. Now it just goes into the player and kills him. Vice versa for the clone as well. So, yeah. We set that up because it did kind of bug out many other things. Like if you were to move it into the clone and it only did it for the clone for some reason, the clone would still somehow move the crate, causing it to, collide into stuff. This is why we do these tests. So then we just remove that. I was thinking maybe I could use that as a mechanic, but if the clone somehow screws that up, then maybe it would be a good idea to just fix that. And we did. And then it broke teleportation. But then we fixed that. The fix we did was just give it a push variable that basically reset back quicker than the player could move. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was 0.40 or something to the player, or no, 0.04 to the player and clone's sprint cooldown of 0.05. So, yeah, that's what we did to fix that issue. And then, of course, that screwed up the teleportation somehow, which made no sense. That part never really made any sense to me. The player, clone, and enemies still use teleportation just fine. It was just the crate that just got screwed up for some reason. So, yeah, we just made a check to see if push was equal to, I don't know, false, was it? And then it just started working again. It works on all fronts, which is good. It still makes me worry that somehow that's going to just screw up again in the future. which doesn't make any sense why it would, because it's been working just fine. That's the thing I hate about stuff like that. It works just fine now. Like 50 freaking levels in, creating all of it, and it's like, oh, nope, no, I'm not working now. Now I'm gonna decide to break. And then you just leave me stumped figuring out how the hell to fix this shit, which makes no sense. But it's fine. Oh, wait, I probably should just do this, shouldn't I? It's fine because we figured out a fix that's hopefully going to stay. So, anyways. Oop. That's what we got done with, essentially. I'll put that here. We fixed up the crate nonsense. Everything else I think was working fine. If there was something else that broke, it isn't noticeable enough or notable enough for me to remember me fixing it. Also added in that secret mechanic and improved upon other secret stuff. The secret mechanic is not really necessary to be kept a secret. That one is fine as is. And I'm going to put like a mountain here. No, like a cliff. All in all, everything there is pretty much set now. We got all the sound effects I think we want, except for the jingle, but we can't exactly really work on the finished block coding and all that stuff. Not until we can get the first zone built and we're starting our first set of levels. Which is the part I'm excited for. Is that a moth? No, I don't know what that is. What is that, cat? But yeah, I'm excited for it. The menu system's going to take a while, though. Start menu's probably not going to take too long. All we gotta do is get navigation set. Then we gotta implement the save and load mechanic and then get, like, some other things set in that department. We already have the practice, thing with the save and load stuff that we want. Now we just have to implement it into this. I mean, there's a few things that I need to get implemented here, but it's fine. It's going to take some time. Because outside of the start menu, there's also the regular menu itself. And then the one thing that sucks is the fact that I've done all of this in Dreams already. The only reason why I didn't bother continuing it in Dreams is because while building the zone, the thermometer was not happy. The thermometer was not having any of it. And it was not fun to see, let me tell you. I mean, yeah, no. I feel like Fleck is just not it's just not really an intuitive thing when it comes to trying to keep, and trying to get larger games and whatnot. You can only, get smaller rooms. And, that's just not me. I prefer these polygons, these meshes. Because we don't even need that big of a mesh. All we just need is, a simple square. It doesn't even have to be many squares. It's just got to be one big square, 6-sided mesh. Nothing else, nothing more, because this game is literally just blocks. With the exception of things being built out of blocks. But that makes sense, all things considered. Because of the whole, aspect. But, yeah. That's the idea. That is the idea. That is the idea. So, as I was saying, yeah, there's a lot of menu stuff that we gotta get done with. What kind of menu stuff, you may ask? Outside of Start menu and the main menu that you access from the zones themselves. In the main menu, we basically have to get, the main menu instance, which is basically, return to zone, or whatever that's going to be called. Followed by options, extras, and exit to start menu or something. I think that's all there is. I don't think there was anything more. The extras is where you need to go. To the left, it brings you to options. To the right, there's the extra menu. In that, there's the music library. the blockology, the statistics, the mapology, and the achievements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there was 5. And there's also the back menu. So there's 6. Yeah, there's 4 buttons to press, I think, in the main menu instance. Options menu is just the same as what we already made. And of course, the this is going to be alien writing. It's a sign, by the way. And of course, the 6 stuff to select in the extras menu. I feel like this one's exit to main menu is just going to take you straight to it. I think. Because that's what I did before. And I did like the idea of there just being a screen here, here for main, here, well, in your direction, here for options, here for main, go up to go back to the zone, go down to go to the main menu, the extra menu, the path that takes you to the other 3, music library, blockology, statistics, mapology, and achievements. That was basically like what I had set up in Dreams. Basically just like a mace or hammer. You'll probably consider it a hammer in all honesty. Alright, there's that. I'm not going to go too heavy on all of this here for a few reasons. But I do want to try to get some stuff set up in here. A girder, if you will. The blockology will definitely take a bit of time to get done with. In the blockology, I gotta record a lot of vocal lines. And that's why we got Reaper Studio. So once we've gotten those vocal lines recorded, and then we just set up the menu system to allow you to like move through all of that stuff. And then we get the achievements set up, followed by the statistics, and then add those statistics into the code bits, because most of the statistics in game are like gonna, require players to do something. I probably should just do this, shouldn't I? Then, of course, there is the music library that's going to just slowly and steadily be built out. Hopefully I can remember that that needs to be a thing that's built. I feel like I would, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Damn condensation. Anyways, yeah, that's the plan. So once we've gotten the menu system finished, we work on the building the entirety of the first zone. Get zone navigation going. And once we can navigate throughout the entire zone and do all the things that we need to do, then all we need to do, simply put, is build levels for the first zone. I'm going to have like a giant garter here. It would make sense that the Alien King would want to try to build like his own home away from home. So yes, once we've gotten that done with, we got like an active working menu system. We're able to exit out of the areas that we need to exit out and do all the things that we need to do, so on and so forth. And then we can simply just go on ahead and, be done. I still might want to try to get some controller-based stuff. I have the menus saved as a prefab now. Oh, that's an alarm that's pointless because frickin' Rick and Morty is on hiatus until November 20th. And that's not until 2 frickin' weeks from now. Wonderful. At least close to my vacation week, so that's good. Anyways, yeah, that's the plan. That's the idea. Try to get controllers in, and we have something. I mean, the issue is I would need to figure out a way to have it like detect to see if a controller is plugged in, whether it's PS4 or Xbox. And I got two. One is better because it's Bluetooth, although lack of internet connection occurring is kind of annoying, which makes no sense. But whatever, it's fine. Alright, so there's the background. I might add more stuff here. Oh, yeah, like maybe something here. Because this is supposed to just be an entire area filled with stuff. But yeah, once we can get levels made, and we got like the entirety of the first zone traversable and like going through it via the finish block and all that stuff, then we can consider this project a success. The only thing that we'll need to do is just build the rest of the zones and the rest of the levels, get the secrets coded in and whatnot, do a few other secret things that occur throughout the entirety of the game, and get to the end. Gotta make a lot of music, though. I did fix up the, what do you call it? The first music a tiny bit. I think it sounds way better than it did before. But I'm not sure entirely. I still gotta finish that up fully. That still has a lot of stuff that needs to get done with. But at least it's not too bad. I don't know how long I want these to be, but the score should definitely be long. Yeah, because in Dreams, we had to, like, make Space Blasters scores slightly shorter. Because, well, obviously, I keep referring to this, but it's relevant because we're currently making games in Unity right now, and we're comparing the two. I have experiences in both. You've seen what I've made in Space Blasters. I wish I can continue that, but until Dreams somehow figures out how to make it so we have more space on the PS4, I'm afraid it's going to be impossible to get a playable build going with that. Look, I know you want to try to be like compress things in like areas, but sometimes my dreams are bigger than Dreams is. And if I can't build an entire world map, well, not an entire world map, even in this one I'm not going to build an entire world map, primarily because I like the idea of being brought through zones and like the zones being constricted to one thing. It also makes it easy. Oh, wait. You should be this. It also makes it easier to just like try to figure out. Oh, wait, no. To try to not figure out what's the word I'm looking for. It makes it easier to separate the zone's progresses and whatnot, while also still having it so that you can see the zones prior, depending on where you are in some of these zones. That part's going to be fun. I'm thinking of this one particular zone that's probably going to like oversee a lot of zones before it. Considering where it's at, yeah, you're going to be able to see a whole lot of zones and get like a glimpse, assuming you have the balls to go into this optional area. Because if my ability to create difficult yet somewhat fair levels is, going to actually come into fruition and make it so that you're going to have a hard time trying to get to here. Because it's supposed to be, this one is an optional one. And I think there was supposed to be, hold on. I have my notes here. Nope. That's the finish jingle, and that's the DLC ideas. Yes, DLC ideas, believe it or not. Yeah, there's a voice log in this one. As well as maybe, that would be in Sapphire, but no, it's not. Yeah, that way. Yeah, that's right. Wonder if I should add... I mean, we kind of already got what I want here. I guess I can tell you how many zones I have planned. Yeah, that's fine. That could be combined. I have 35 zones planned, which is a lot of zones to make. And you've seen, if I can bring it up, I should be able to bring it up. Unless this is... No, it's in the other one, right, because the D drive got destroyed. Well, you've seen the map. You've seen what the map was. And the map showed you the amount of levels in the first zone. So obviously you have an idea on how many zones we have to work with. How many zones we plan on making. Okay, there we go. We obviously have some general idea. Although now I gotta make a... Well, I'm gonna have to make a map soon regardless. So I'm gonna have to try to, like, figure something out there. I'm not sure. I have no idea. To be honest with you, I know where most things need to be. I just don't know how I want to mesh those all together properly. We'll see, though. I can't wait. Can't wait to build the first zone. That's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Actually building it out like a grid space, because before in Dreams we were doing like full-on rectangles blocks. But now with this, we could do it in a better way. In a way better way. Can't wait. Building it by cubes instead. That should be a different color, but which one? We already have used this color, right? Yeah. I guess we'll have this be a unique color to this thing. Like it's turned off lights or something. Oh, man, I can't wait. But we still got a menu to get done with. And I will say the menu system is still going to be very arduous as all hell. Thankfully, I know how I want to do the navigation. I have an idea on how I want to do the navigation. So, hopefully, question mark, this isn't going to be too bad. Hopefully. We'll see. What you want, cat? Christ. Alright. So, yeah, as I was saying, I'm on cue right now, I think. Yep. I don't know what else to talk about. Hey, he said the line again. We're getting close to done. The coloring is just about as done as it can be. I don't think I need this open anymore, but I'm going to want to try to open up the defilers and see what that had. Yeah, that had like a bunch of rock-like things and garbage. I guess what I'm going to try to do is get some garbage in here. And, of course, the space abyss. And the combus. Alright. Probably shouldn't have that be like this. Don't know why that's like that, but it's fine. Combus. All around the place. Okay, alright, so. Yeah, just got scrap piles and whatnot. But this one's being used differently this time around. It's all garbage. And we should definitely do some of this, some of that. Control that. and make it scatter a little bit less. Alright, let's see. So, or was that something else? Well, it looked like regular old rocks. Unless I did a mixture of bright colors somewhere. I think we do need to scatter this out a bit then. And make this slightly less large. Have that be a part of this so that when we shade and texture it, it's sage and texture with it. Garbage. From King Garbage. What are you looking at? Cadillac. I will say one thing, though, about Paint Maze. The first zone is going to be the easiest. Minus a few set of levels. Like, how the hell do you keep getting shit on here? Freaking cat. Why are you the messiest cat in the world? Alright, let's see. I'll get all the little minor bits and stuff done with in a later instance. We don't have much time left, and unfortunately we're not going to have enough time to get a little head start on Elementals Reborn, which sucks. Everything about what is happening sucks, and I wish they would be better about doing shit like this, and by not doing it. That's the best way, is to not do that. Not do the stupid. Alright, let's see. Scrap. Brighten that up. And then this bit right here. And then the scrap over here. And then this scrap over here. You like so. You like so. And all of you. Alright, so far so good. Draw cat. You look tired. You're standing there staring at me. Lump. Alright, now you're purring. Oop. Alright, let's see. Now we gotta do a little bit of this. And a little bit of this. And I feel like what I want to do in that shouldn't be too difficult. Part of me is just worried about how the menu movement's gonna work. Now, obviously, with the way Dreams has its like movement thing set up, you can't like have things like translate as quickly. Because in Dreams, you just have like physics-based movement. The best way for you to get the translate thing is to have the thing you want to move in a grid space pattern move via very fast movement. That's essentially how I had the first instance of Paint Maze pretty much done with in Dreams. But of course, that aspect is not true translation. And in Unity, this updates every frame, allowing for us to be able to have very fast movement. So fast, as a matter of fact, that we can get a whole lot of... Well, it depends. We can't have it be too fast because I think it will miss certain like things that it's supposed to move it. Oh, this time around we got 25 by 25 block movement space. Well, then again, that was more so just 25 big. Oh, 25 like this. It was like in a rectangle. We have an actual square in this one now, which is pretty big to get decent sized levels. And I mean, I thought it was going to be a little bit more like hectic with having that be as big as it is. But the test levels that I had performed, I made like, well, I saved that one test level that I had, got rid of it and made another one, which is using this one particular mechanic, which I do like. This was a mechanic we didn't have in Dream's Paint Maze. This one is more consistent to the current Paint Maze instance. Unity's Paint Maze. Whereas we didn't really think about doing this before in Dreams, but then we thought about doing it here and thought, you know what, that's a nice mechanic. That would actually be a very good thing to have for the zone here. Oh yeah, and speaking of the mechanics, I'm talking about the DLCs that I had in mind. Basically just things that, you know, I don't want to have on the main game because I feel like these particular things should be more or so just like separate. Any DLC would be separate from the main progression on the main island itself. That's the idea with DLC. It's less about, like, you know, having that implemented early and then having it sold. It's more about just, like, ideas we save for later for a potential sequel bait. And being all like, yeah, this could be in a sequel. Maybe. Because the only way I would be able to make a Paint Maze 2 in any way, shape, or form is if I were to get enough mechanics to warrant doing it. Obviously, it wouldn't take place on the island that we're on. Which, by the way, yes, we are on the island. We are on an island. It's an island with a volcano, snowy, icy mountains, a lot of lava, a lot of radiation all over the place. I mean, an area like that makes sense because lava fills the land. But still, that's we got ourselves a restricted area here to work with, which is nice because I do like the idea of just like seeing the island that you're on in full. Man, that's gonna look cool. The other idea that I had was to simply have it set to where the there's a world map that you can use to fast travel. Either fast travel to the entrance of the zone if you haven't got the fast travel, whatever entrance you have unlocked, or fast travel to the fast travel point. Whichever one, that's the one you're traveling to. That's basically the idea there. Was that? Looks like it, yeah. Plus, all these look like scrap pile. Then again, the effects here make this look way different. So, but yeah, can't wait to see what the island looks like. And the DLC ideas are definitely something that I like to think about for future, if I were to ever expand upon it further. I don't think I've shown you the mechanic, but there is a dodge mechanic you can use on the enemies. It's a very tricky mechanic to pull off, because you gotta, like, move into the enemy just as they're about to move to be able to dodge them. Which is gonna be an interesting thing to see, like, professional speedrunners use to try to complete the game as fast as possible. The thing with that is, to be able to perform this action, you have to have perfect timing. Every single time you have to surpass an enemy. And it's not that easy to perform, especially when you move every quarter of a second. And plus, I imagine some people are going to probably have a hard time trying to keep track of everything and go fast at the same time. You've seen how most of the levels are like, with so many things on the screen, having to pay attention to them. Although, you're going to see some easier levels being made. That's the thing. I'm definitely going to be like showing off, like making levels and making a zone. But I feel like what I'm going to need to do is make some levels off camera and some zone bits off camera. Because I like the main instance of Paint Mage is after like the menu and gameplay stuff is made. It's basically just me showing you me creating stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, that's basically what we're trying to build up to. I'm not going to show you all of the levels or all of the little tidbits, because I do want to show you some, or do want to have some surprise. But I'll show you some levels. How many levels? I don't know. Maybe 100 levels. Possibly. Which, you think that's a lot. Not compared to the amount of levels we're going to have in this game. Probably going to be about, like, oh, I don't know, over 900, over 800 for certain. Because think of it like this. There are 35 zones, 34 of which are going to have at least more than 20. Obviously, because side paths, main path's always going to be 10, and there's probably going to be like a ton of side paths and whatnot. One zone has one level, but that doesn't exactly count. So if you go on ahead and take like the average, that would be 34 zones times around, like, say 25. Let's say 25 is the average. That would be over 850 levels, or 850 levels exactly. But that's like the average. If it was 30, it would be over... Okay, no, it would probably not be 30. I don't know what the average would be. If there was going to ever be an average, 27 would have to be the average. But that doesn't exactly count too much, because not all levels are going to have 27. Obviously, the first zone doesn't have 27. So chances are we might not have 900 levels, but it's going to be just underneath it. And you've seen how big the levels are. They're not that big. You can have so many different types of levels and mechanics in there. Due to the simplicity of Zone 1, you got some very easy like level stuff to like get off, because that's basically just the tutorial section. The tutorial section showing you like the basic stuff that you go up against. And then the second zone is more tutorial, but it's showing you a little bit more advanced stuff you go up against. I'm going to say it right now, because I think I've already said it for at least Zone 1. Zone 1 is obviously going to show you first level basic movement. Then level 2 is going to show you keys and locks. Level 3 is going to show you crates and lava. And then that side path is going to be more crate puzzles and lava. But probably not going to be that hard. Basically just crate-based stuff, you know? Level 4 is going to show off the enemies. And I think that's basically it. The side path, the second one's probably going to have like water towards like the end of that path. And then the other path, I don't know, that one's probably going to be, it depends really. And then of course in the second zone, I want to introduce poison, ice, and water fully. You can get introduced to water pretty early on if you decide to try to go 100%. Just know that you're not going to really be able to go 100% so easily in Zone 1. There's this massive shortcut path that is going to be incredibly difficult, so that you can't just like easily skip ahead. I mean, if you're a beginner, you're obviously not going to be able to do it that easily. If you are an advanced player, then it's probably going to be second nature, because there's going to be so many other levels later on that requires a way more focus and fast button presses that you're going to basically just steamroll through it. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then there's the other path that you can only get to via a different zone. I don't know too much about what I want map space-wise for Zone 2. I just know that there's another path that you can't get to unless you go to another zone. That will lead you to a lever. The idea with those particular things being access to different paths is primarily because I want the first lever that you interact with on like a casual playthrough, like not trying to like complete hard level, just like, all right, I'm not ready for this level, so I continue on the main path kind of deal. The first lever on a casual playthrough should be the third zone. At least on everyone's first playthrough. Some people might be different because they go through the levels in a much more efficient manner, but still, sentiment still stands. That's basically the idea. So that's why Zone 1 and 2's levers are not accessible. There are 33 levers that will open up this zone that, let's just say, is probably going to be everyone's least favorite zone due to difficulty spike, or some people's favorite zone because it's very difficult. That's going to be fun to make and test out. Ugh. Christ, man, that's going to suck. That's the thing I'm dreading, though, is getting to, like, the end bits and just, like, dreading trying to, like, go through the harder levels and complete them. Especially the ones on the optional paths. The optional paths are gonna suck. You know what that's gonna be like. Optional paths are gonna have more difficult levels. And then areas that, like, get to voice logs, keys, and, levers are obviously going to be even more difficult for the standard of the level. Not all of them are going to be, like, incredibly hard. I think the voice log ones are the only ones that are just guaranteed extremely difficult one. You gotta find, like, levers to open up the the gate to get you to the level, and you complete the level, and it takes you over to an empty node where you can play a voice log and get more lore to the story. Because that's right, there is lore. I mean, you've seen how I built so many things up. You know, poison, radiation, all those mechanics, the enemies that just move in like a particular pattern. They don't move from their pattern, they just keep staying. They don't even pursue you. And the fact that they sound like robots when you kill them. Which, I think I did make that beforehand. Yeah, that was in the last episode. So, yeah, there is definitely lore. Especially with this one secret thing. That y'all have at least seen some bits of it, but you don't need to know what that is exactly. And that's not any of your concern right now. Well, that's that for that. Alright, let's see. There's more here that I can add, like dust patch and whatnot. I have dust here, right? Where would that be? That's all just scrap there. I think the dust was just basically this, maybe. Probably should hide that. Anyways, yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna have a ton of levels and so many different like combinations of mechanics. It's going to be interesting building all that out. The third zone is basically just going to be, you know, certain things that you've already come across, but like amped up, not to an 11, but enough to showcase some form of difficulty. If I were to try to rank like all the things that we have in like, you know, early game, mid game, and late game, some zones I still don't know exactly. But if I were to try to like rank some of that stuff, yeah, I feel like we need way more stuff in the environment, at least up here, before we do anything else. Is that the first and second zone and third zone is going to be considered, well, and I guess the fourth zone, the two paths in the fourth zone, are going to be considered early game. Fifth zone will be mid game. And I'm not saying all the levels as a whole, because there's definitely going to be some aspects in those levels that are going to feel like they're more than just mid or early game. Going to feel like they're way more difficult because optional paths and whatnot. Now, that's the thing with optional paths, you don't have to complete them. Although if you're a completionist and want to go for 100%, I mean, you're going to have to do something and complete them, right? I don't know what this scrap is going to go to, so I'm going to make it 2A. But, yeah. As I was saying, some of the levels are going to be a bit more difficult. Even the first zone's levels have some very difficult ones. The shortcut one, obviously, and the path leading to the lever, obviously, because the only way you can get to that is through zone 6A. And you could probably go for the third path and get a shortcut into 6A. I think I've said the shortcut before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. If you want to try to go for 100%, well, that's the thing. Zone 3 is going to have 3 or 2 things that you're not really going to be able to 100%. Okay, for instance, the last voice log is located in Zone 3, but you can't access that until you get 10 voice logs hidden throughout the level. And there's 11 because I like the idea of 33 zones having 11 voice logs. 1/3 of the voice logs take up the zones. 1/3 of the zone. And technically that's true because 2 zones, one of which requires you to get keys, all 8 of them, outside of just a Roy G. Biv. And there's also the pink one that requires you to get the, the 7 keys, unlock the doors, and complete the levels in there, which is going to be way more difficult than you think. But you don't know what that is, do you? And then, of course, there is the lever one, which you have to go to all of the zones and pull all of the levers to unlock. That one is going to have nothing there outside of just levels to complete. That's the reason why I don't have voice logs there, is because we kind of want those to be their own thing. And not, have voice logs be a thing that is a sentiment for you to want to try to get. It's more so just there to be yes, this is a challenging level, and this prevents this particular thing from just being here. What is that thing, you may ask? Well, I don't know, that's a secret. I can't tell you that secret yet. We're not there just yet. But that does complete a very specific side quest that frees you from this secret that occurs throughout the course of the entire game. Assuming that you come across said secret, that will be an interesting secret to come across, that's for certain. Hopefully we don't have to worry about that through creation. I guess that's another thing. I gotta figure out a way to have that secret, a way to farm the secret to get it to, be there for you to utilize in-game. You see those numbers down there? Those are indicative of the secret. What is that secret? No. You'll find out soon enough when the game is made. Hopefully soon. But, yeah. Yeah, that's what we've got planned there in those 2 zones. So technically that means there's 33 zones that you have to go through. And 2 of which just basically completes 2 achievements. I mean, that would be the only incentive to want to try to go through those zones, just to get the achievement. And I guess getting 100% will also be another achievement. Yeah, basically just complete all levels and get the achievement. Well, no. Completing all levels is just one part. Then there's also speedrunning the game and trying to beat it in less than an hour. Despite how many freaking levels there are, you will be able to complete it in less than an hour. Alright, I think... Well, no, wait. I don't want to forget about the dust clouds. Man, we're running out of time. If I want to have, energy and not have to worry about nonsense, that's fine. It's fine. Dust. Can't forget about the clouds with faces. Anyways, yeah, DLC ideas. And I was thinking about using that dodge mechanic. That's another reason why I would want to have a DLC for something like that. Because the dodge mechanic is it's such a pain to like pull off. And having a zone that's all about dodging, yeah, no, that feels like it needs to be DLC and not a part of the main game. We will have an instance where you can use dodge primarily to get to a particular shortcut. But it's not going to be needed to get 100%. That's the idea. Although I don't know if you're going to have to use dodge, because controller is going to be a bit tricky. I feel like you're going to have to somehow use a dodge mechanic for the controller, assuming I remember to try to get that implemented. Hopefully I can. I'm not entirely too sure. That's the thing I'm mostly worried about, is trying to get the controller stuff programmed. I mean, it's not too hard. There's like not too many things that have control-based instances. I adjust the script and player movement, clone movement, shifter movement, and the menu, and we implement the controller stuff. Then there's also having it set to where the E and the Q in the pause menu changes to X or circle or B and A, or A and B, whatever direction it is, in order for it to showcase that, yes, it's taking those two. I don't know about the Switch, though. I look at the Switch and it's B and A in the opposite direction. And if I were to look at this, that's the wrong one. Here it is. No, wait, that is the right one. Yeah, that's A, bottom B. Yeah, literally just reversed. The buttons on the Switch are reversed. The X and the Y are reversed. The A and the B are reversed. PlayStation is the only controller that has like a unique control scheme of X, circle, triangle, and square. Alright, we're taking too much time talking about this stuff when we should be trying to get this done with quickly. It looks like the shadows here need to be 50. 50 flow. So, yeah. I feel like that's really the only gameplay aspect that I need to get done with. Including the, what do you call it? I feel like that shouldn't be too hard to add in the what do you call it, instance. You know, the prefabs, and then we just put X and circles and A's and B's and somehow figure out how to connect a Switch controller on here. Or worst case scenario, we just create another build that's made for the Switch, and then we just have that switch to that instead. Or something, I don't know. Do I expect to have console releases? I feel like a game like Paint Maze would work perfectly with consoles still. But even so, I'm not entirely too sure how the hell that would work in terms of movement. Yeah, I really have no idea how the hell that would work. Plus, I think the movement and everything in Dreams was completely different. I don't know, I think it was like a half a second. Because everything here moves by a quarter of a second as opposed to a half a second. But at the same time, if it was a half a second, then that would mean that moving the player would be so tedious. So it definitely had to have been like a quarter of a second. It had to have been a quarter of a second, because I can't see that being anything else. If that is anything else, then I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe it was like 1/3 of a second. That would be a little bit faster. Obviously, we were making this for the controller, but now that we're making this for PC, we have better access to the keyboards. Although, I don't know. If I were to say grab this and just like... I think... Because you gotta do like, on ASD. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, that laser instance that you've seen... You know, that one where you have to, like, press A, then S, then D again in the span of a half a second. Less than a half a second, I think. Doing that on a controller is going to be a bit tricky, but I think it's still possible. I think. Especially with lasers. You can dodge enemies, you can't dodge lasers. Lasers move faster and they cover up a row that they're in. And of course, that means that you can't jump over lasers, because if you do, you jump into a laser. You could try to, you know, press right as soon as the laser's about to hit you, and you'll be fine. But even then, good luck, because that's still very difficult to pull off, especially since it moves every 0.5 seconds. Yeah, the lasers were the things that kind of broke the enter class command thingy. And we have levels that are going to require a lot of lasers, so obviously we wanted to figure out a way to have that fixed, and we did. I'm surprised we did. So far we've been able to fix every problem we've come across. Crate's the one that has the most problems. A lot of the stuff is just simplistic, and works off of player and crate and clone. And all that stuff works just fine. Which is surprising, to say the least. I thought there was going to be way more problems. Hell, even with crates and movers, there weren't too many problems. I would say the only issue that we'd have with crates and movers still is like trying to come up with puzzles for that stuff. I could think of a few. Actually, I did think of one, where you basically use a gate to like push a crate, have that like automatically go through the gate. Oh, wait. I guess that's fine. Yeah, have that automatically like go through the gate, and then have it land on the what do you call it? The moving platform, which requires very precise timing to get that right. I mean, it's not too difficult. It's satisfying when you get it, though. And then once you've got that crate there, you just go through on the other side, and now you got the crate on the moving platform. You didn't even need to have the crate there, but you needed it to get to the lava. To push the crate into the lava. I kind of wish I had just saved that level. I should have. That's not that big of a deal. Like, the first and the end part were the interesting ones. The middle part was eh. But I could definitely, like, create more of that. I don't want to create any more complex levels now. I want to try to focus on the menu bits, and now focus on getting the first level and the first zone made. That's what we're going to need to work on. And I can't wait. Like, seriously. You don't understand, like, just how much of a big deal getting the first zone made is going to be. I don't remember which color this one was. I think it was like a teal. Getting the first zone made and having like the save system work properly and load all the things properly and load into areas properly as well. That is going to be a huge deal. Because the first zone in of itself, with all the stats and all of that stuff, will essentially mark the finishing instance of a paint maze. Once we get there, that's basically like demo, what do you call it? Demo potential. And after we've done all of what we need to do in that department, make all the zones, make all the levels, make all the secrets, do all of that stuff. Get the narration bits in, if I can remember. I better be able to frickin' remember. Once we've done that and made sure that everything works like it should, then that's it. We just get all of our affairs in order, figure out what needs to be done. See what kind of things we need to do. We to like purchase licenses or something. And oh wait, no. Bull balloon raise. And then we just get it published to Steam. $20 it's going to be. I feel like that's a good price tag for a game as big as Paint Maze. Simplistic, but considering the fact that I'm the only one who's making it, it's kind of warranted. And plus, I hope like the simplistic, childlike nature will entice people to want to like play and be like, oh, that's an interesting concept. Yeah, sure, why not? That's something that might interest me. Make me want to purchase that and try that out. Hey, try it out, go through the simplistic levels, then start like going further into the game and seeing all the mechanics that occurs. Even the exploration is going to be pretty enticing. All the collectibles and whatnot. Paint Maze don't need graphics. Paint Maze just needs an interesting story, lore, which is not going to be too much story because, let's be honest here. But there's going to be like voice logs with lore that you got to like go out of your way to find. And then there's going to be a lot of collectibles, keys, that secret mechanic that's going to be very interesting and reel people in further. Make them worry at first and then be like, oh man, I want to know what that is all about. Purple balloon flares. Get the lighting. And of course, there's just a giant map for people to explore and do many things in. I imagine that would be like one of the major reasons that people would want to buy that. Shadows. Shadow rays. We're almost done here. Unfortunately, once this is done, I'm going to have to get ready to sleep. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sleep. I'm annoyed. I'm so damn annoyed and frustrated. Yeah. It's too bad we couldn't really figure out more ways like improve upon this guy, but don't worry. Once we can get to a point where we get to draw new demons that are like, their own thing, instead of trying to draw something from a very small instance. Like, I don't even think I showed you that. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Like, here he is. Right over here. That's how small he is here. That's what I have to work with. I think I did decent, but I feel like it could have been better. I gotta make sure that when I draw Melody, I have to do everything, because we have talks of Melody, but we've never seen her before. We haven't seen her at all. So it's gonna be interesting drawing her. She's gonna be in a similar vein to the Observers, except more humanoid with hair. It's gonna look very creepy. Surrealness, if you will. That's going to be the interesting thing about her. Alright, I need to get some more, some dust clouds here or something. I'm going to get a different dust cloud here. Guy's just in the scrapyard. With his, stuff here. Get some dust filling in most of the area back here. Most of the area back here as well. Oh yeah, by the way, here's a little preview of the second episode of Elementals Reborn. Just to give you something to look forward to when that's ready to come out. Gonna have to work on that well, it depends if I can somehow download Sonic Frontiers before midnight. I'm probably going to do that and then immediately start getting videos recorded on that. I also need to look up the UI and figure out where the hell I need to put the thing at. Dust particles. With Sonic Adventures, I don't have the UI in a good spot. I should try to fix it, but I haven't yet. Alright, scatter, size dynamic, 50 to 1. Others, of course, color dynamic, we don't need. Oh god. Further out than that. More further. Maybe we'll have this at like 75 or something. And we just have all these particles here like so. Let me make this overlay or something. Or vivid lighting. Or not. I don't know, how about normal but at like 80 or something. And let's make this like 250. And adjust some of these a tiny bit in terms of color. And now let's get some smaller ones back here. Okay, there's the dust particles. Alright, now we gotta get the effects here finished. I'm gonna make this 500 or 1,000. And now for some teal area here. That's the idea. Teal and blue in the back here. Blue area. Similar to what we had before, but slightly different. Maybe this one should be a bit lighter. Yeah, something like that. Cover up most of this area. Dark blue area. Try to get some more darker spaces here. Not too dark now, just dark enough. Alright, now we have light purple area, which we can have coming down from here, lining up most of him. Like so, kind of. Let's see, red area? I might be able to get a red area on him. It depends. Depends on what this looks like. It's like he's got a nice slight red glow around him. Everything in the area is slightly dull and blue, but this guy's got red and some slightly brighter colors around him. Maybe like some like so. And yeah, I guess a little light underneath there to showcase a tiny bit of that. Sure, why not? Alright, now some purple area. A little bit darker, but still bright enough to make it seem a bit more lighter. Cover up some of this so that that's less blue. I guess delete some of it surrounding him so it's not taking too much of that. And I think, unless I want to get a, well, I'll set up sepia at least. Maybe I can get a green in here. Green area. Alright, let's see. This is more of a green teal, but let's see what this looks like. Oh, that actually works pretty good in this area. This area and a tiny bit over here. Alright, now we go to sepia. I don't know which one I want. I guess we'll find out. I like most of that, but not all of that. Too dark. Still too dark. Still a little bit too dark. That could work for most of that, but is there something I can use for you? I got a red color. Like if I were to do this, but I switch over to this and do something like this. Yeah, it shows him more so as a red glow here. Maybe I can get some dark, whoops. Some dark purple. Or maybe we can use some of this for like the top here. It lights up most of the back, but keeps most of that red. Most of this red still. There we go. Considering the time that I have, I'd say this is about as good as we can do for now. Which is fine, I guess. It still looks decent. I wish I could have done something different with it. Maybe I could do something different with at least this bit by blurring it. Yeah, we'll blur it. We'll see how well that works. That might look better. Maybe. Does it look like that's actually doing anything? Unless I made it like vivid lighting? No. Overlay? Kind of. We could probably go for 50 instead. Nah. I'd say we could probably do a tiny bit of this so it's not too bright instead. Alright. I think that's everything. Now I just gotta put all of my stuff back to its original instance. And we're good, I think. I did as much as I could for most of the scrap here. So there we go. With effects, without effects. With effects, without effects. Well, that's all for this one. So I'm going to end this here. In less than 2 hours, I'd say we did pretty good. So, thank y'all for watching today's episode of Art Time. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out that there playlist. And of course, previous episode of Art Time right over here. And the most recent episode of Sonic Adventures 2 Battle. Why not? Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.